So one thing that I learned in Civic Mirror, and I think is especially applicable to real life as well, is the benefits that one would reap from organization and planning and setting goals. For example, in Civic Mirror, I had the fascist hidden agenda, and when I first got it, I made a plan, and that plan didn't work because I just can't manipulate people as much as I estimated I would, and you have to keep adjusting it, and you have to make your plan so that it does work and you are successful. For example, in Civic Mirror, I had a 3-year plan, and when we went out to war, I was going to be like, oh no, we're at times of war, everybody sign this, destroying the Senate and House, quick, before we all die, because that's what every real fascist dictator did. And I think that not necessarily the same steps, but similar steps, such very broad organization and setting goals, are very useful in real life so that you can be successful there as well. So another thing I learned in Civic Mirror is how different one's expectations of things and the reality of it, what actually happens, are. For example, when I first read the manual and first learned what I had to do to be the most successful in the game, I mapped it out and I made a plan, and I said, okay, I need 3 health units and a security unit and 2 education or whatever, and I assumed that I was going to be able to get those just by wanting them and having money. And when I was actually in the game, I learned that many other people want those limited resources, and you aren't going to be able to get everything that you both want and need. So what's important to focus on, and I learned quickly, are the absolute necessities to life. And by doing that, I didn't vastly improve my own and my 7 boyfriends' ways of life, but I did keep us alive, and I learned that that's more important. And I'm really glad that I learned that in an online game before I had to learn it in real life while I was dying. Lastly, I learned that propaganda can have a huge influence on the voters, which is very useful from a politician's point of view and extremely harmful from that of a voter. For example, in Civic Mirror, I ran for president and I made a campaign video and a speech and posters, and they were all kind of funny and light, and I was doing funny things and quoting movies and stuff, and that appealed to my demographic, as opposed to my opponent, who had a speech that actually said useful things that and they said how they were going to develop the country into a desirable place and stuff. But I learned that if you target your demographic and what they like funny things, then it's way more useful than actually saying what you think. And from a voter's point of view, this can be especially harmful. And so I learned that when voting, you can't just vote based on ads or anything that like videos or anything like that. What you have to do is research and see what the politician's plan is, how they're going to achieve what they say they're going to achieve, stuff like that, as opposed to just blindly listening to propaganda. I think at the end of the day I really did like being fascist because I was in power, even if I didn't dissolve Senate and House and stuff, and I couldn't even steal money from the government. How weird is that? Like, I controlled the account, and we had like 9,000 extra dollars, and I barely had any money, and I didn't steal from you guys. Yeah, I doubt it. So another thing I learned in Civic Mirror is the vast... Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh Jesus. Oh Jesus! Ah!